I want to talk about the RNC, the last night of the RNC. It was very, very bad. The first night of the RNC started out okay. I would say it started out okay. There was a couple of speeches. There was quite a few speeches, actually, that I liked. The second night, I mean, we saw Nick Sandmann. That was basically the only speech that was worth a damn. Then last night, it was just absolutely terrible. So we have this article up on the redelephants.com, which is sort of praising the RNC. And it says, the Trump RNC ends with Ave Maria sung from the White House. Biden's DNC ends with creepy cult music. And this is true. I mean, you probably saw the Billy Porter song. It was super odd. And basically, I was talking with one of my friends today about this. Basically, what it was trying to recreate the 1960s revolutionary spirit, right? This is what the Democrats were attempting to do with the Billy Porter song. He sung, the I forget what the song is actually called. Probably someone will say it in chat. I think it was Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young song. Whereas the RNC ended with the Ave Maria. And that's basically the only positive thing that I can say about last night. All of you saw the Billy Porter song. We don't have to rehash that here. We don't have to talk about that here again. But I want to get into some of the speeches here. So the first speech that I want to touch on was this speech from Alice Johnson. Now, Alice Johnson, it's called For What It's Worth by Buffalo Springsteen. Is that true? I'm sorry. So I was wrong on that, on who wrote that song then. Anyway, moving on. There was this speech from Alice Johnson. And that just doesn't sound right to me. I don't know. That just doesn't sound right to me. Is that right? Anyway, whatever. Alice Joggerson. Yeah, Alice Joggerson. And let's just get right into the speech. We'll provide commentary afterwards. Let's play this clip.
Good evening. I'm Alice Marie Johnson. I was once told that the only way I would ever be reunited with my family would be as a corpse. But by the grace of God and the compassion of President Donald John Trump, I stand before you tonight, and I assure you, I'm not a ghost. I am alive, I am well, and most important...
It wasn't Buffalo Soldier it wasn't Buffalo Soldier. It was, now you guys are, like, really making me look this up now. Okay, yeah, okay, so the first person was right. Song by Buffalo Springfield, There's a Man with a Gun. Okay, so it's called For What It's Worth, Buffalo Springfield. Okay, so now that we have that very important piece of information settled, let's continue on with the crack dealer, the cocaine dealer, who was invited to the RNC.
Reportedly, I am free. In 1996, I began serving time in prison, life plus 25 years. I had never been in trouble. I was a first-time nonviolent offender. What I did was wrong. I made decisions that I regret. Some say, you do the crime, you do the time. However, that time should be fair and just. We've all made mistakes. None of us want to be defined forever based on our worst decision. While in prison, I became a playwright, a mentor, a certified hospice volunteer, an ordained minister, and received the Special Olympics Event Coordinator of the Year award for my work with disabled women. Because the only thing worse than unjustly imprisoning my body is trying to imprison my mind.
I don't even want to play this whole speech. I really don't want to play the last 2-3 minutes of this speech anyway. But let me give you the rundown on her, okay? She was a pretty major cocaine dealer. The product that she sold on the streets killed thousands of people. And this is the person that they invited to the RNC to speak. This is one of the many people, the many black people in particular, that the GOP invited to the RNC to speak. Now, she makes it seem in her speech that she was just like a drug user, that all she did was have a drug charge on her record and just use drugs. This is not true at all. If there's anyone that we should be prosecuting to the fullest extent of the law, it's the people who provide the drugs. I understand that we should be semi-lenient and try to help people recover from drug addiction. I've had trouble with alcohol in the past. Many of you know this, right? I understand for the people who are actually addicted to this, we should try to treat them with a different approach, but still with the weight of the law behind them, right? Because if you ask any person who is a recovering drug addict or a recovering alcoholic, they'll tell you that it was the threat of the law that boosted me into action, right? It was the threat of the law coming down on me that boosted me into action. So treating people who are addicted to drugs and things like this with this approach, that's fine with me, in my opinion. But as far as like the drug dealers, especially the major drug dealers, these people should be locked in prison for life. They should not be let go, and they definitely shouldn't be trotted out on stage to speak at the RNC in order to basically beg black criminals to stop rioting. This is effectively what the GOP was doing here. They trotted out black person after black person after black person to basically talk about the free get out of jail, the get out of jail free card being waved in black people's face. Here's Jerome Smith.
Of the murder of Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, and legend Taliaferro. A moment of national racial consciousness. I have seen his true conscience. I just wish everyone could see the deep empathy he shows to families whose loved ones were killed in senseless violence. President Trump has made it clear that if you want safe communities, you must have police departments with the highest standards. I'll never forget Strand Hill Road or the people of Cleveland. They're tough, smart, and tell it like it is. That's President Trump. For a New Yorker, he's got a lot of Cleveland heart. And I'm proud to say that he's my president.
So that was a clip from Jerome Smith. And if you don't recall, we went over him when we went through the clip from the Black Roundtable that President Trump had. He appeared in this roundtable, I think, towards the end. Now, of course, when you are talking with people, I think this was him right here. Yeah, this is him right here towards the end of this roundtable. Trump, we talked about how Trump didn't invite the correct black conservatives. The correct black conservatives to invite to this roundtable would have been people like Larry Elder, John Miller, some of these sorts of individuals who are going to tell the truth, who are going to be pretty strictly pro-law and order, pro-restoring order in our country, but this doesn't seem to be the GOP's message. The GOP's message, speaker after speaker after speaker last night,
I'm blessed to be able to run inner city,
seemed to be, blacks, please stop rioting. Look at all of these wonderful things that we're doing for you. Here's some more goodies. Here's some more get out of jail free cards. Just please stop rioting. While our country burns around us, while politicians almost get killed in the street, we're going to get to the clip from Rand Paul next. This is what the GOP message is. Jesse Lee Peterson would have been a pretty funny one to invite to that roundtable.
Youth programs and to also teach in prisons across America. The inmates in my federal prison program literally receive days off their sentence just for attending my class.
Awesome.
And that's thanks to President Donald Trump in his First Step Act.
I mean, this is basically, it's like, where do they even find all of the, like, the majority of the speakers, it seemed like the majority of the speakers at the RNC were blacks who were praising President Trump for letting them out of jail, letting criminals out of jail where they belong. And I said this on Telegram last night. Here's what I said. I said, the GOP has queued up black person after black person after black person to basically speak about how weak the president is on law and order. This is a president that runs on law and order. This is a president that has tweeted the words law and order 50 to 100 times over the past couple of months. First, a major cocaine dealer whose product has killed thousands of people. Then they finished with several others who claim that releasing violent criminals back onto the street has been a great success and will make our city safer. Not a good look. To top it all off, we heard Rudy Giuliani basically said that George Floyd was unjustly murdered. They basically are just begging black criminals to stop rioting by waving get-out-of-jail-free cards in their face instead of responding to lawlessness with strict consequences like they should. We have no representation in government. And all while this is going on, we have Rand Paul almost getting killed in the street. Here's a clip of Rand Paul here as he leaves the RNC and what happened to him. Let's play that clip right now. So there's that view, and you can see he was trying to make sure that the police officer was okay before he moved on. There's a closer view. Where's that closer view? Do I actually have that closer? Yeah, this is the closer view here. This is the person who tried to attack him. Again, I mean, this guy, he got attacked by his neighbor, almost got attacked by a Black Lives Matter mob. There it is. Okay. Maybe it's actually the same view. I had a closer view, a shorter view. I don't know where I put that clip at, though. But you could see it was this man here in the braids, with the braids, pushing the police officer down. So this is what's going on while the GOP is basically begging black people to stop rioting by, like I said, waving get-out-of-jail-free cards in their face and talking about how we're releasing all of these criminals back onto the street. It makes no sense. Here's a police officer, this was last night as well, getting smacked in the back of the head with a steel garbage can lid. With a steel garbage can lid, getting knocked out almost instantly. This is what's going on directly after the GOP attempted to pander to the people who are not going to vote for them, not only not going to vote for them, but want to kill them and want to kill their family, and attempted to kill a member of the GOP. It just makes no sense. We also have this article here. This was posted by Daniel Horowitz recently. He said, David Dorn was killed by a repeat offender, jailbreaked early from prison by policies advocated by both parties. So when we talk about like the First Step Act, we talk about things like this, criminal justice reform. The First Step Act has released many very violent criminals back onto the street already. A couple of them have already went on to commit crimes again. One of the most famous cases was a guy who got released because of the First Step Act specifically and went on to murder almost the very next day. And then add on top of that all of the other things that we have going on throughout cities across the country, the surge in violent crime. We talked about that yesterday. People moving out of these cities, companies moving out of these cities, more prisoners being released back onto the street because of the coronavirus, arrests going down, police retiring early, police transferring at higher rates than we've ever seen, police retiring at higher rates than we've ever seen. And the lawlessness is only going to continue until the Republican message changes. And the Republican message, as I talked about yesterday, needs to be law and order, restoring order in the country, and talking about locking these people up for a very, very, very long time. Strict criminal consequences for the people who are committing these crimes in our street. Now, when he talks about David Dorn's killer being a repeat offender, jailbreaked early from prison by policies advocated by both parties, I mean, we have many such cases. Many such cases. This article here goes over a case that we talked about back in June, where this man just basically walked up to this 92-year-old woman and started punching her. I mean, we've seen hundreds of videos just like this. I think it might show the video. Let's see if it shows the video. It's going to play an ad first, of course. It's actually probably not even going to play any video at all, but I'm sure that you remember this. We've seen hundreds of videos just like this. This criminal was arrested over 100 times. Over 100 times.